Today we are going to talk about the first is like SSH, right? SSH, and as I explain you, SSH is secure than the Telnet, right? So basically, SSH providing a security. Yeah, got ACL lab in a CCNA exam in January last. Yeah, Jiviran, a CCNA exam is now changed. Okay, it was like a CCNA routing and switching previously, and after March, yeah, it is now changed, and we call it a CCNA enterprise. And according to the new CCNA enterprise, there is no labs. The first thing is when you give exam, you will not get any lab. First thing is like as per new, and second thing is uh, now uh, there is no ACL in the in as per the exam blueprint. Yeah, as per the exam blueprint. And now we have this code is also changed, and the code is like 200-301. Yeah, previously it was really very important, and you have to pass this. If you want to pass this exam, the lab is really important, right? But nowadays it is no lab. Yeah, but the number of questions previously, maybe it is like a 55 questions in the 2 hours, and now we have maybe like 102 questions. Yeah, you have to give answer of 102 questions, so there is no lab, but yes, the number of questions is like more, right? So changes. Okay, and it is good, like they have added some new topic. This is also really good. So let me uh, start with the telnet first. Okay, I'm going to telnet my live router, and then we'll capture some packets, and then we will verify that okay, telnet is not secure. I already explained you to yesterday, but I want to make it in the same video, so if the people is watching it like first time this video, they can able to understand the process, right? So let me start and let me share my screen. So first of all, I'm going to talk about like telnet. Okay, so my IP, yeah, my IP is 192.168.123.88. Yeah, this is my IP, and I'm having one router. Like this is the router that I'm using for internet. Okay, this is net router, and we are going to talk about net as well in upcoming session. So the matter is, this is my net router, and I'm getting internet from that particular router. Now, if I want to manage it, I can use the telnet, and here is like IP address of my router. Yeah, so then it will open the telnet session, right? Telnet, and here is a username. I'm using my name Bhavesh, and password is that you don't know, guys. I'm giving you. Yeah, I'm having trust on all, so I will give you no problem. So this is my router, right? And I just use telnet to manage my router, right? This is normally we are doing, but I want to convince you that the telnet is basically not secure. Okay, so this is for that. What I'm doing, I'm going to exit this session. Yeah, and now in my computer, I'm having one software, and we call it Wireshark. Yeah, we call it Wireshark. So Wireshark is basically a software which is used to build, like it is used to capture the packet. Yeah, like whatever the packet is like generated by my computer is transmitted to the NIC. Now using Wireshark, I can capture this packet, right? So yeah, Mukesh Bhagat, welcome. And here we have this Ethernet. This is my Ethernet card. And if you want to capture this, you must have this software Wireshark. And I just click over here. Now I'm getting like lots of traffic over here. Why? Because right now there is a Zoom traffic is going on. Yeah, I'm using Zoom for Facebook Live. So this traffic is going on. Zoom is using UDP ports, and these traffics are going on, right? And it can capture live traffic. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to telnet my router again. Yeah, telnet. Okay, 192.168.123.1. So you will get this telnet traffic over here. I'm going to add username Bhavesh, and I'm going to add password also. Okay, so right now I am in my router, and I just used Wireshark to capture the packets. Okay, before I just start the telnet session. So all the packet has been captured by this Wireshark, right? And now if I'm going to give command like show IP interface brief, you will get this IP address and all this. Yeah, so this is how my router, like this is my router, right? And now I'm going to exit this session because it is done now. Okay, now I'm going to stop this capturing also. So lots of packet has been captured by this See this, like lots of packet has been captured. Okay, so I just want my telnet. So just type telnet over here. Okay, and it will give you traffic, like all the telnet packets will be there, right? So I just initiate the connection. So you will get this is like all this capturing will be, you will get over here. Yeah. And now concentrate over here. Okay, now concentrate over here. See this. This is like B, H, A, V, E, S, H. This is what the password, like username I used. Okay, and then it will give you like, see, password. And here we have the C, C, N, A. Yeah, and my router's actual password is CCNA. I just change it so you can understand this. Okay, so you can use this type of tool to capture anyone's password. Yeah, if you are using telnet is not secure, right? So this is how it works. Pranay, you are saying like kind of trace route command. No. Trace route is just used to trace the route. Yeah, this will capture the traffic. Okay, this will capture the traffic, and you can find it out like which type of traffic actually going on. Trace route, we are using it like if you want to find the way of the traffic, right? So this is like a difference. And here is like you got it, right? You got it like what is the password that I'm using, right? And this is not good at all. This is not good at all, and we should not use this. Like we should not use this type of software, right? So telnet is not good, not secure. Okay, telnet is using TCP port number 23. SSH is using TCP port number 22. Yeah, and now I'm going to enable telnet. Okay, so I'm going to enable SSH. So I'm going to my router. Okay, and config T. So first of all, when you want to use, you you have to enable, if you want to enable this SSH, okay, you have to generate RSA key. Now what is RSA key and all this, I will explain you whenever I will get proper time. Right now you just type this, and what is I'm getting now is most important. Okay, so I'm going to give like crypto, yeah, key generate, and I have to give like RSA. I will explain you RSA key, don't worry about it. And whenever I'm pressing enter, just see this like what type of message I'm getting. Please define a domain name first. Yeah, so the first thing is you have to define the domain name. Now what is this domain name? I will explain you upcoming session. Maybe next topic is like a DNS DHCP, yeah, after ACL. So at that time I will explain you. But you cannot generate RSA key until you define this domain name first, right? And maybe you will get this type of question in the exam. Yeah, in the current exam, I'm talking about the current exam. Okay, so you have to define your domain name first, and then you can generate the key. Okay, so I'm going to define this IP domain name, and I'm going to define any name like acs.com. You can define any, yeah, acs.xyz, it also works. Okay, and now again you have to run the crypto key generate RSF, and here it will ask me for the key size, and I'm saying that okay, 1024. Okay, I will explain you this key size and all. Okay, so now it is done. It is required, like you have to give this command crypto key generate RSA first. Okay, now we have to go to the line VTY04. Yeah, virtual terminal telnet, we call it VTY. And then here you have to give command like transport input telnet, sorry, transport input SSH. Okay, and login local, like okay, if you use it or not, because I'm using local username and password over here. Yeah, so user is already created. See here we have this user, and here is like username Bhavesh and all this, it is done there, right? So here you can see this password also, right? So now it is done. Now I can use telnet, I can use SSH. Okay, so it is done. And now I'm going to close this. Now if I want to use SSH, I must have putty in my computer. So this is putty software. Okay, you can download it from internet, and here is like 123.1, and here I have to use SSH. Yeah, so telnet is using TCP port number 23, SSH is using TCP port number 22. Again, I want to verify that telnet is not secure, I am sure, but maybe, yeah, maybe this will be the secure, right? So let me find it out. The first matter is I have to start Wireshark again. Yeah, I have to start Wireshark again. and there is a Ethernet, and this is capturing my traffic. Yeah, so my traffic is going through this, and let me click open. It will give me this detail, and I have to download this. Yes, and here I'm going to write this Bhavesh, okay, and password is CCNA. I got same thing, okay, ACS my router, so IP interface brief, okay, all this IP address and all this over here, so running, okay. So yeah, I'm getting same router, but this time I just use this SSH. Yeah, I just use this SSH. So here same like Telnet, it like Wireshark also capture the SSH traffic, right? So click this, close this, and then type SSH. Yeah, this is like SSH traffic over here. And see this, you are getting this encrypted packet. Yeah, you are getting this encrypted packet. And now suppose that, like, if you try anything, yeah, see this, there is key generation, Diffie-Hellman group and all this. Yeah, and if you want to verify that, you can do that with your own lab, but you will never get password over here if you are using Telnet. Yeah, if you are using SSH. Okay, so SSH is more secure than the Telnet. If you are required to configure your router, okay, the best practice is always use SSH. Okay, done. Yeah, if you have any question, you can ask me. Otherwise, I'm going to talk about next topic. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. Are you getting my voice properly? I'm having some doubt today. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. If the telnet and SSH is clear, just type clear. And if you are getting my voice properly, just type like okay. Yeah, clear. Done. Anything problem with my voice today? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Voice is crystal clear. Okay. Crystal clear. That's good. Thank you. Okay. And voice is really important when you are learning. That's why I'm trying to give you best. Okay, so this is done. Now let me tell you one thing. Okay, now let me tell you one more thing that you have to understand. See, I just use this. Okay, Mark, but I need to understand clearly how to configure SSH in the router. See, Mark, there is only one command that you can use right now is crypto key generate RSA. And if you give this crypto key generate RSA, it will give you an option that give the domain name. Yeah, so you just need to give the domain name and run the crypto key generate RSA. Okay, so there is a two command that you can enable, and the third command is you have to go to the line VTY04, and there you can give the command like transport input SSH. By default is like telnet. You have to give this command transport input SSH. Yeah, so there are three commands. Yeah, how to configure SSH? Yeah, I just configure this in my router. Okay, but yeah, there is nothing like very easy. There is like three commands. Yeah, three commands. One is a crypto key generate RSA, and if you give this command crypto key generate RSA, you have to give the domain name. Yeah, IP domain name. And the third thing is you have to give this command line transport input SSH. Yeah, so there are only three commands that you can use. Okay, now there is like how this key generation work. Okay, that is I'm going to explain you later. Why? Because we are going to understand AAA, and that particular matter I will explain you. Right now I can say that you can use telnet, you can use SSH. Okay, both are used for the remote configuration. Telnet is not secure, SSH is secure. If you enable telnet, there is like line VTY04, give the password. And if you want to use SSH, these are the command that I already explained you, right? So these are the command that you can use. Okay, crypto key generate. The first command should be IP domain name. You can give any name like IP domain name, acs.com, whatever you want to give. Second is crypto key generate RSA. Okay, and then generate key size of 1024. And the third is go to the line VTY04 and give the command transport input SSH. Okay, more will be there in the detail that I will explain you. So don't worry about this right now. Just Remember these three commands. Yeah, just remember these three commands, right? Okay, Mark. Yeah. Okay. So Mukesh, repeat this video again. You will get it. This okay? Yeah. So now there is a one thing that you have to remember. Yeah, there is a one thing that you have to remember. For example, see, I don't use this graphics mode. Yeah, so now telnet cannot work. Okay, and here is like, because I just give this command transport input transport input SSH. Okay, so if you want to use both telnet and SSH both, you can give the command transport input both. Okay, so right now see, suppose if I'm going to use telnet session, right? Telnet is not working. Why? Because now I have to use this SSH. Here is the username Bhavesh, and here is the CCNA is the password, right? So here I use this. See this. These are the command. Yeah, IP domain name, and then you have to generate this key, crypto key, generate RSA, and then you have to go to the line VTY04, and here is like transport input telnet. Okay. Now the matter is like, if you want to enable both, you can give the command like config t line VTY04, and here is the transport input both. Yeah, sorry, not both, it is like all. Sorry, extremely sorry, it was transport input all, right? So it will enable both. If you enable transport input SSH, it will enable only SSH. Okay. Yeah. GUI, you will get SSH enable on the Cisco switch. Yeah, I don't know anything like more about GUI, like how to enable from GUI, but right now I'm not using GUI. Like, okay, but yeah, maybe I will try this, Nikhil, and I will explain you. Okay, so like I'm a man from command line in this particular matter of Cisco. Yeah, the particular matter of Cisco. Yeah, there is a tool that we can use, and yeah, I will arrange some demo if it is required, right? Otherwise, go for the command line. Always people are using this. Okay, and it is really very comfortable, right? Okay, now one thing that I want to explain, you see this here. When you go to the running config, yeah, when you go to the running config, you will get over here is a, see this, we have this username. Yeah, we have this username, so you can create user as per your requirement. Okay, for example, I am user is like Bhavesh. Okay, so I can create more user over here. For example, I'm going to create username. Okay, username and Kausal. Yeah, username Kausal, and then I can provide privilege. Now when you are providing privilege, we have three privilege that is already configured. Like first is like a privilege 0, user will get user mode only. If you say 1, user will get privilege mode, and if you want to give all access, you can give privilege 50, and then you can define password, and then you can give password. Now suppose if you want to give more, like if you want to if you want to enable secret password, you can say secret, and then you can define password. So right now I'm going to define password like 12345. Okay, so now the matter is username Kausal can able to log into system using this particular password, right? So you can create user, and then you can use this user to log in. Okay, now here you can define the privilege. For example, user Kausal. Okay, and I can select like privilege, and what will be the privilege. Now 3 privilege level is defined. Yeah, 3 privilege level has been defined. One is 0 user mode, one is like privilege mode, you cannot able to give config t command, and the 15 is like highest. Now 2 3 4 4 5 6 7, all this we can define this. Okay, and define this means what, we can configure that. Okay, privilege level 2, and then we have to configure commands for this particular privilege. For example, if I'm saying that I'm giving privilege level 2 to the Kausal. Yeah, I'm giving privilege level 2 to the Kausal. Now what happened? After completing this, I have to define that which command can be run by the privilege 2. So if you have privilege 2, you can run that particular command, right? So we will talk about this in the next upcoming session. Okay, and at that time I will explain you from everything, right? And because this is like a specifically security part, right? So we'll talk about this and we can create the user. Now the matter over here is, suppose, let me assume that for example, in our company, we have 50 routers. Yeah, we have this 50 routers, like 1, 2, and total up to 50 routers. Okay, total up to 50 routers. Now I just appointed Kausal as a network administrator of my company. Yeah, so the Kausal is a person who is able to, like, who will manage all these 50 Cisco routers of my company. Yeah, who will manage. So now in this case, I want that Kausal can be able to log in from each and every router. Yeah, Kausal can able to log in from each and every router. So there is a desk for the Kausal. Kausal will sit over there, and then whenever it required, it has IP of each and every router. So it will establish the Telnet or SSH session, and then Kausal can able to manage this router, right? Now the problem over here is I have to create Kausal in this particular router. Like I have to create user over here, and then same Kausal will be over here. Okay, and then like 50, like I have to create a user with the name Kausal in all 50 routers. Why? Because I'm using this like right now it is, I can say, login local. Yeah, so actually user is authenticated using my local username and password, which is inside the router. Yeah, which is inside the router. So now this will be problematic, right? Because I have to create the same user in 50 routers. Okay, now what happened? Kausal appointed one another person, right? Nikhil. Now Nikhil is like another, like Kausal and Nikhil is colleagues. So there are 2 persons now. They will able to manage all these 50 routers, right? So now what will happen? I am having one user Kausal, and then I have to create one user Nikhil. And now Kausal and Nikhil can able to log into each and every routers, right? So you have to create this username and password in every routers. Okay, and sometimes it is really more difficult. Why? Because you just appointed third person. Yeah, you appointed third person, and you appointed anyone, like okay, you just appointed any one person. So yeah, you just appointed Mukesh. Now Mukesh, you are like main administrator. Kausal and Nikhil is main administrator, and you allow them. Mukesh can able to give like run only 10 command, right? Like Mukesh can able to run OSPF. Mukesh can able to run EIGRP. Okay, Mukesh can able to configure IP address of the interface. Okay, Mukesh cannot shut down the interface. So you just allow them particular command. Now, if you want to configure like this, you have to define privilege level, and then you have to define the privilege commands and all this. Yeah, so you have to configure this in each and every router. Like if you have 50 routers, you have to create a username with the Mukesh. You have to define privilege over there in all the 50 routers, right? So this will be the difficult, because right now you are doing it with the decentralized process. Yeah, decentralized process. And now if you want to implement it centrally, yeah, we can configure like a central model, and here we require Cisco IAC. Okay, and all the router will connect with the Cisco IAC. Okay, now you confirm that all the routers. Okay, if you want to use any authentication, you go and talk with the IAC. Okay, in the IAC we will get like a radius server, and which one is called Takas. So now what will happen, like if you have new user, like if I'm having new user Kausal. Okay, so I just need to create username Kausal over here, and then Kausal can able to log in from each and every routers. Okay, then I will create a user with the Nikhil, and Nikhil can able to log in from this particular router. Okay, now then I will create a username Mukesh, and then I will define privilege over here. Okay, so what will happen, like which command will be run by the Mukesh, I will configure like, okay, these 3 command will be run by Mukesh. So I have to configure all this over here in the IAC, right? And once I will configure this, Mukesh can able to log into in any routers. Like this is what the centralized authentication, and then the command which command can run by Mukesh, it will be defined by this IAC. Okay, so we'll configure this situation centralized authentication, and what we call is AAA. Yeah. AAA. AAA stands for authentication, authorization, and accounting. Yeah. I don't know that I like how I configure this is in a packet tracer. Yeah, in the packet tracer, they are giving us this facility. Yeah, but we can use GNS. Okay, we can use live routers. Okay, so I'm having both facility. We can use live router, we can use GNS and packet tracer. Okay, I will try to complete this using packet tracer first. Okay, because for CCNA it is okay to use packet tracer. Yeah, for NP, for my batches, I'm always using this live. Okay, so I will configure this, like we can configure this live also. But the problem with the live scenario is like if you are going to configure this ISE, yeah, it is taking too much time. Yeah, so yes, AAA, takas plus. Yeah, so yeah, these things are like people are using. So we'll talk about this in upcoming session, right? So there are AAA: authentication, authorization, and accounting. Now AAA means what? Like authentication. So whenever you go to the router, yeah, before you log in, you have to identify, like router will identify that, okay, who you are. Yeah, so authentication means you are telling that who you are. So before I'm start using my router, I have to provide authentication. Yeah, I'm Bhavesh, this is my password. Okay, and then this router will go to the takas. It will verify that ISE or takas. Okay, is it like Bhavesh having this password? Can I ever allow him login? Yes. So once I will be login, yeah, routers knows that, okay, you are authenticated, you are now Bhavesh. Now whenever I will give any command, yeah, for example, I'm going to give command router OSPF10. Okay, again takas will go to the like this router will go to the ISE, and it will find it out. This is a user Bhavesh. I already authenticated them. Okay, now Bhavesh is trying to give this command router OSPF10. Yeah, is it allowed? So IS will give them, yeah, allow them. Okay, so then I can, yeah, this command can be run successfully. So what is this? It is called authorization, right? And the third point is you will get audited, like everything will be audited. Okay, so you can find it out that, okay, there is a user name this. Okay, and he used like 5, 10, 6 command. Okay, so you can find it out that which command has been executed by which users, right? So this is what the AAA, right? Now according to the CCNA book, like as per the rule, like it is okay just to understand this, but we will do it practically. Yeah, we'll do it practically because in many places they are using this. Yeah, so if you have 10 routers, 50 routers, 100 routers, okay, you must have this IAC to make all the authentication, authorization, and accounting centralized, right? So this will be, we'll talk about this in the upcoming session. Yeah,